Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of Blu-ray Tuesday with Terrell. Alright guys, so we're back, and this week is a very festive week. This week is also Friday the 13th week. Ain't that great? You know, hence everything that's here. But I had a traumatizing experience today. It's been crazy. When I was at work today, I saw the nastiest thing I saw in my life, and I'm still thinking about it, and it grosses me out. So, I don't do bathroom duty. I don't like going to the bathroom. I don't like fixing bathrooms, let alone going to the women's restroom, let me tell you. So, I had to go change some shit out in the women's restroom, and this lady, I had opened it for her because we got locks now. So I let the bitch in there. Nice looking lady. She looked like, you know, younger figure, like nice looking bodies, and she seemed nice, right? That bitch goes up in there, and I waited, came back. She came out. She says, okay, thank you. And then my ass went up in there to go do what I had to do to go fix stuff, because I don't want to go in there and scare nobody, you know. I can't just go in there when females are in there. They in a gender fluid bathroom. So I go in there. Tell me why in one of the stalls, there was a big ass shit with blood. There was blood sticking out and hair. It was so nasty. They don't pay me enough for this. I did what I had to do and I left. I'm sorry, so whoever went there to see that, I was about to clean that up. That shit was nasty, and it came out of that nasty girl. And she was white, it stunk. I went in there, I smelled that was so foul. It was so disgusting. I couldn't believe that came out of that. Weird. Anyway, so that big bitch, she came in there, blew shit up. And this blood, she didn't get that checked out. She didn't go to the hospital. I don't know. But that was a traumatizing thing for me because, bitch, that's nasty. The men's restroom is not like that. I don't know. The urinal, you know, they have their little things up in there, too, and little graffiti. I don't know why men want to graffiti shit. Like, you in there taking a shit, you just want to graffiti? Stupid. Or they do meth. I caught a nigga doing meth in the bathroom. Whew. Anyways, I'd rather see some meth than see somebody taking some hairy shits. But, moving on. So, you might see some more Christmas shit. You know, I'm still over Christmas. I'm so over it. We finally changed the music. I don't hear Christmas at work anymore, thank God. But we got this tree here. But the Overlook family, we're going to do our white elephant party soon. So stay tuned for like a lot of Terrell feasts because we usually do this every year, but it's running late. That's why we still got this tree up because, you know, it'll come down in a couple days and never get this party. But stay tuned for that. And let's get into this. So, there'll be no Blu-rays this episode. I know. Blu-ray Tuesday with Terrell. But there's no Blu-rays. But these, Friday the 13th, watch it. Y'all gonna have some marathons? Let me know. What's your favorite Friday the 13th movie? We're gonna get into it. But, no Blu-rays. This week is kind of a slow week. Friday the 13th Part 4 had a steelbook that released today. I do want to get that eventually, but ever since you get this box set, it's like, do I want to keep getting the steelbooks and double dip and triple dip? And I own the movie like 20 times already. Also, Vesper. Never heard of it. Sci-fi film that dropped today. The Friendship game came out. I talked about that a few episodes ago. About the music box, or almost like Wish Upon. And all the friends play this game, and they all say their secrets or whatnot, and they all come true. The movie's not that great, but that dropped on Blu-ray. And I ordered Piggy. Amazon, you be fucking shit up lately. So I ordered Piggy. You know, I talked about that when I was Leatherface. Check that one out. Piggy was really solid. I ordered that movie, and I was super excited to get it. But they ain't shipped my shit yet. Like, it's still sitting there saying it's supposed to deliver today, and the shit ain't shipped. So who knows? So that's why I don't have anything today. A lot of my stuff is delayed. So not a lot of Blu-rays dropped today, but we have a lot to talk about. All right, I watched a bunch of movies, so we're gonna get into it. But first, you remember last week when I asked y'all for help, and then y'all helped me? Josati helped me. He filming this, and he found it. Anyway, so the movie I was talking about last week about the girl that's dipping and dodging bullets and shit. That movie, the TikTok made me do it. TikTok is insane for this. Everyone and mama, I saw like 5-6 videos of people posting the same clip. The movie is called The Tiffany Doll, and I can't wait to watch it. I'm gonna talk about it next week, but the Tiffany Doll is about a blow-up doll. That bitch just running down the stairs as a blow-up sex doll, and she dipping and dodging bullets. I can't wait. The Tiffany Doll. So Tiffany got some, from Bride of Chucky, got some competition. She's an actual sex doll. Her titties was big. So, yeah, can't wait for that. But we got to get into it. So I watched a few movies this past week, and one of them I want to talk about first is called Day of Disappearance. This was recommended to me from Nick of Movie AV Impulse. Shout out to him, because he's been shouting out the Overlook Theater quite often. Shout out to you. You're awesome. You and your wife. So yeah, you guys been watching a lot of movies lately, some found footage movies, and you reached out to me and said, hey, have you seen Day of Disappearance? It's on Tubi. I'd never heard about this movie ever in my life, but they did recommend it. They said they liked it so much and they thought it was pretty solid. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna watch it. So I turned this on. It's on Tubi. It's 2 hours. Let me just, 2 hours, 1 hour and 55 minutes. This shit's long, but it's not a bad movie. Let's just get into it, all right? So it's about a guy named David Hall So David Hall is a vlogger. So he just vlogs everything he do. He be eating cereal. He be like feeding like his little animals or whatnot. Holidays come and he be talking about his little decorations. He's a vlogger. So he lives on this like island. They keep saying it's an island. It looked like it was just a random cabin. I don't know. But he lives on an island. He's on one side, and I guess he has an auntie that lives on the other side. So he lives on this island, and he happens to go to this fucking cave on this island, and he's like, oh, I've never went this deep before. No one's ever gone this deep. You know, he went deep. So he went deep into this fucking cabin, or this cave, and he found a rock. He found a rock with hair on it. Like, bitch, why would you pick that up? Why? But I guess we wouldn't have a movie. So he picked up a rock. And he took it home, he vlogged, put that shit on YouTube, and he hung the rock on in his room, just hanging like decoration, like a stocking on Christmas. And I couldn't believe it. So I don't know. So I don't know if this was like how it started stuff. Maybe not. I don't want to spoil this too much, but I'm gonna get into it. So he vlogs, and as it vlogs, if you guys watch this on Tubi, pay attention. The backgrounds. There's a lot of shit happening. There might be people walking by. There might be shit moving. It's kind of creepy. And let me tell you, this man, he's not a likable character. I didn't like this man at all. He cries every 2 seconds. He just kept crying. I remember when I was trying to like scan through the movie again to find a certain part to talk about. He was crying in every part that I paused. He's like, boo, why are you crying? Like, okay, I get it. Why white people gotta sleep in their beds with no, he got curtains, but he don't close them. You don't close your curtains, people gonna be looking in at you. That's your fault. So if you got shit walking by and shit in your little videos, it's because you don't close your windows. You wouldn't see it. So he sleeps with the shit open, and he plays video games and vlogs. And he got his, I loved his Stranger Things. He had a Stranger Things like light, you know, with the little flashing lights that you used when he went to the cave. I guess he likes Stranger Things, so they're trying to be current. But anyway, so he's like, eats cereal. That was a weird thing too. Oh, I don't pour cereal and pour 2 little things in a bowl and a dab of milk and say, oh, I'm eating breakfast, bitch. No wonder he's so skinny, because I don't eat cereal like that. I pour my shit up with milk. I don't put 2 little spoonfuls and I'm done. And it was almond milk. Oh, God. Anyway, so he's playing his little Mario Party, and you see stuff walking by, and it comes to find out he's seeing these little signs, letter U. The letter U is just everywhere. So what does this letter U signify? Who knows? But apparently, I don't want to spoil it, I guess his mom went crazy, his grandmother went crazy, or there's something that's going on, and he feels it, but these women in his family don't tell him. So he has his dad, who he's never really seen. He only seen him as a baby. He found pictures, and his dad had U's on him. Why he got U's on him? And he sees the same U everywhere else, and there's this ghost and this presence that he's noticing, and he thinks it's his dead dad. His mom killed himself in a psych ward because the bitch is crazy. And I don't know. So is it the dad that's haunting him? I don't know. He's seeing weird beings that he saw. He was chasing after it. And then basically this movie's about the vlogs that he puts out, and people are trying to figure out what happened to this man. They're chopped and screwed. It's not like the full stuff, but they're chopped and screwed. It's like, okay, so it starts like I think October or September up until when he disappears in December 1st. So a lot of weird shit happens in this movie. A lot of weird shit happens to this guy. He's trying to solve this mystery about who the U is and what this stuff is like coming for him. He had an interview with his auntie. They all know something, but they won't tell him. Apparently his dad found out and had all these clues, and he gave him this little fucking wild, what is he looking for, a fucking gold chase to go find that, and he finds it. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's crazy. So is this a being? Is this a person dressed up as something? Is this a ghost? Who knows? And it's kind of creepy in that aspect. But this guy was haunted, and he did go missing, so who knows? But if you guys watch it, at the end of the YouTube, there's a YouTube link where you can go watch all the footage. They're trying to make this shit real. They watch all the footage that he recorded unedited. So if you guys want to look at all the footage, it's at youtube.com/letter C as in cat, / again, David's with the S, Hall 013, like the 13th, Friday the 13th. And go check that out. If you watch the movie, it's at the end, so watch the movie first, I'd recommend it. Then if you guys want to watch those videos, do that. But speaking of the cat, I felt so bad, because this is the only part that really got me was the kitty cat. He went to go find rocks and shit in the cave, and he hit a cat. He hit a fucking great cat. That was a cute cat. And he picked the cat up and brought it home because the cat was homeless. So the cat, he scared me too. That cat was jumping out of places, and there's a scene where the cat gets hurt, and it made me want to cry. That shit was crazy. I care more about the cat than that man. He should have closed his blinds. That's all I had to say. End of that. But check it out on Tubi, and let me know what y'all think in the comments. Thanks for the recommendation, Nick. And if you guys have any recommendations for me to watch, let me know, because I'm going to check it out. All right, guys, it's time for Terrell's Tubi time. So the first movie we just talked about was on Tubi, but it was not a Tubi original. But this one is. We're gonna get into it. So I watched a movie this past week called The X Obsession. All right, so I watched this movie. You know, it's just like all the other ones I've watched. It's very, I don't know. It's the same shit. So it's very like there's infidelities in this movie. There's a lot. It's very Gone Girlish, but with an urban twist. Watch it. Or not, it's kind of boring. Let me tell you, out of all these other movies we watched, it's not as exciting. Like, I wasn't on the edge of my seat too much. The main chick was very bland. I guess she was going off the Gone Girl shit, because that girl was bland too, bitch. She needed to get a tan. Anyway, so, this movie's called The X Obsession. It's about a girl who's married to this man, and she seems like that she's so uninterested in this man. She's like a stylist, so she'd be on the internet and on the socials to try to like style people. She tried to style her husband, but he don't take her advice, which he should. We're gonna get into it. And she has a personal assistant, this white girl, and she's just like, oh, yo man, you need to get someone better, basically. And then basically the man got a new job, because I guess he was sitting at the home humming and buffing it, and he got a job at this place, I don't know, some sports place, I don't know, some other shit. Anyways, his boss was this light-skinned man with two eyes that were far apart. The eyes were so fucking far apart. He looked like Sid. What's that fucking thing from Ice Age? Sid the Sloth. He looked like Sid the Sloth. I could not unsee it. If you watch it, put the picture of Sid the Sloth next to him. That's what he looked like, Sid the Sloth. All right, so his name is Grant. So he works for a guy named Grant, and when the wife, Miss Kim, she went to go visit her man, his name is John. She went to go visit him at his new job or whatnot, and his boss was her ex. So she used to be fucking and sucking on Mr. Sid the Sloth. And so he's there. He looked better, I guess. He buffer. He has his professional demeanor. He's a bit more, what's the word? Were you a bit more, because her husband's kind of a weenie, and he has more, what's the word? Swag. No, bitch. Anyways, so he has more like swag, and he's more confident. He's more confident than her husband. So she's getting flashbacks, and he's like, oh, hey, Kim, da-da-da-da. So they got the job, and then she actually was meeting with Grant, and they ended up fucking. He put up that skirt and fucked the shit out of this girl. With that sloth, the eyes went like this. Yes! So yeah, they did that. And then she went back to her husband. Oh, the husband saw them. They were exiting this building where they work. And he was trying to call this bitch, and she didn't answer her phone because she was getting dicked down. So he sees them. He gets sad. So when she went home to cook some dinner, he was at the table just like, bitch, you better ask her. He sat there. So how was your day? Bitch, you better ask this bitch why she's with your boss. He is too weedy for me. Anyway, so she's like, oh, it was fine. You know, I just styled this bitch. Anyways, and she got away with it per se. And so as this goes along, he let it go. And then it happened again. They're about to be fucking and sucking in the little workroom of their offices. And then she tried to call it off because she wanted to be right with her man. So she met up with her best friend, the white girl that wanted her to leave her man in the first place. And the white girl's like, oh, you met Grant? Oh, you should go back with him. Did you fuck him? And she didn't give her too much info. I wouldn't either. But girl, she didn't give her no info. Let's just rewind. I don't want to spoil this too much. Well, maybe I should. Everybody go watch this. So she ends up telling the Grant guy, the sloth, Sid the Sloth, like, hey, we should tell my husband that we used to date. But we gotta end the fucking, basically. So she set up a time for them to have a dinner. Mind you, John's seen them together, so he already suspicious. So they have their dinner. She going to go do something in the kitchen. She pretend like she cooking. The bitch don't know how to cook. You could tell. Anyways, they're in the living room, and John and Grant meet again. You know, they boss, and he's like, oh, so you know my wife. And he's like, oh, so you know already? So John thinks, Grant thinks that John knows that they fucking, and John, you know, they both are talking past each other. They just want to tell him that they were friends or they used to date before, but John don't know that. He think that they was fucking, so he got so mad, because, you know, John has got that little man syndrome, and he choked him out. He got a thing to choke this big sloth, and he kills him. Or does he? He killed him. And Miss Kim came in and saying, oh, you killed Grant. He were just gonna tell you that we dated. He was like, what? You just dated? That was it. And then he runs off, and she tries to help him cover up the murder. But guess what? The nigga wasn't dead. That sloth was still kicking. His eyes went, ooh, ooh. And she got a stick. I've never seen this before. She got a toothpick and stuck it in his eyeball. That sloth eyeball. She stuck it deep in his eyeball. And she killed his man. She killed the sloth. So that's why there's no more Ice Age movies. And then They went to go take the body, and they went to go dig the body, and they got a hole, and you got the nosy white girl looking out her window, because no, they don't ever close their window, so she's staring. And she saw them walking with a body, yada yada. Mind you, after this is all done, I'm gonna keep this shorter, sorry I'm talking too much, but basically, after this, they didn't decide to call the cops. They decide to pretend this man is still alive. They driving his cars, they catfishing his girlfriend, they wearing his suits, they're swiping his credit card, and she trying to help him cover up the stuff because he don't want him to get in trouble. So they use his credit card and they give John a full makeover with his credit card, and all the bitches want him. Why? It took some clothes for everybody to want this bald-headed ass man. So all these girls want him, even the bitch who, the best friend. You better watch your best friend. That best friend was trying to seduce her husband. And he was coming for her. He said, you know, I always wanted you. And when he was fucking his wife, he thought of the white girl. I couldn't believe it. It almost was a threesome because they was saw that their bodies was changing. And let me tell you, I'm making this sound better than what this movie actually is. Let me tell you. So all these girls were trying to flirt with him. He was getting coffee at the coffee shop. This other white girl with a ponytail was like, here's this. She gave her the coffee, the little latte, and he gave her her number. I was like, wow, all because he changed his clothes. So all this got to his head, so he became too big for his own good. And you know, Miss Kim, she's Miss Gone Girl. She thought 2 steps ahead. So long story short, all this shit happens. The girlfriend comes because she's catfishing her, telling her to send naked pictures. She was sending her naked photos. So she was catfishing her. I think she liked it though. She was trying to be lesbianist. But anyways, the movie was interesting. It had the whole Gone Girl twist where she's a good actress. She was trying to say that his name was Grant at the end and not John. She says, Grant, why are you doing this? And he grabbed her by her hair and threw her. But she liked that earlier because she wanted to be threw it across the table. He was like, oh, you gotta be like Grant when you fuck me. I forgot about that part, y'all. They was kinky in this movie. It's an urban Gone Girl. Get into it. So anyway, so this ends with Mr. John going to jail for everything. And then she driving away with her, you know how the older wears these scarf and they sunglasses? Why they all end like that? That's how she drives off, and that's the end of the movie. And I hope there's no sequel because that shit was stupid as hell. But that's Miss Kim. She can't cook. She can't fuck, but she want to be beaten. And yeah, she killed Sid from Ice Age. That's why there's no Ice Age movies. All right, tune in, Tubi. All right, guys, so this one kind of fucked me up that I watched this past week. I've seen a lot of people talk about this on their the top 2022 films. It's on Shudder, and it's called Speak No Evil. I've seen various different covers. There's a car with people screaming in it, and I saw another cover about a little boy with his mouth wide open where it says speak. The O was like his mouth because his mouth is open. And it's like, what is this? It's supernatural? But no, this movie is, it's horror, but it's like how people are, like how people could be, and it's scary. Okay, so let's get into it. So I don't want to spoil this one too much, but I'm gonna get into it. It's on Shudder, and it's called Speak No Evil, and it's about this family. It's like a Danish film or a Dutch film or some shit, but it isn't English, and there's some subtitles because they be speaking the little languages. So in this movie, it has 2 characters. It has Louise and her husband Bjork. I don't know how to say his name. It's very Dutch or Danish, and they have a daughter named Abigail or some shit, and they're on a vacation. So they run into this other couple who have a son, and they all, you know, begin to cahoots. They thought they were friendly, and the son has no tongue. So they explain it like, oh, he was born this way, you know, like Lady Gaga, he was born this way, you know, but he didn't have a tongue. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. He doesn't talk. He's very weird. He doesn't seem connected with his family, and it plays a part in the film. But when you watch it, so they had a good time at this vacation. Then a few weeks later, Luis and Bjork, whatever his name is, this weenie man, they get this letter saying, oh, hey, you should come visit us. And they have this rural cabin place on this faraway place, like 8 hours away. I think the drive was 8 hours. So they go. Like, why? I don't know. But they just met these people. I guess they thought they were very kind, so they go. And let me tell you, right when they get to this cabin, things are just odd. So as you're a viewer watching this, you see certain things that are happening that could be very uncomfortable, in my opinion, or like, I don't know, weird. Okay, a couple things happen. Like there's one instance, they go out for dinner, and the couple that they met, I forgot their names, but the fucking Evil 2 and Evil 1 and 2, the woman and the man. Anyways, they were just kissing on each other very ravishly because they were drinking a lot of wine, and they ordered hella food, and he was making fun of Louise, mind you, and I guess I thought maybe because he was drinking, he was just like getting out very unhinged, because she's a vegetarian. So, you know, she don't eat meat, and they had all this meat on the table, and he's making fun of her. Like, why? And there's a lot of instances where he's very like rude to the son and abuses the son kind of way, like vocally. It's really weird. And then the family is just watching, like, this is odd. Like, they're talking to their kid like this. But mind you, they're at the dinner. They left the 2 kids at home. The kids are with some nannies watching them. And he's very vulgar about her not eating meat. Weird, right? And then she's like, oh, oh, I'm sorry. And she seems too nice about it. Like, bitch, why aren't you telling him, oh, I don't eat meat? Like, let's keep it moving. But they're so nice. And the husband, they're just like, oh, you know, it's fine. They're giving us, they're treating us, whatever they thought. But no, that man got so drunk, he tricked the Mr. Bajork, the man, into paying for the whole meal. So they got a free meal out of it. So these two people go into this, they had to pay for everything, whatever. And there's another scene where they get home, they're driving back. They're driving drunk, by the way, because the two people, they wouldn't let the others drive, the good people, but the bad people were driving, and they blasting their music, and Miss Louise and her husband in the back like, oh, I wish they would turn this down, but they're so nice about it. So it keeps on going. The whole movie's like this. So one part, a girl is showering, Miss Louise was showering, and she was getting her body all clean and stuff, and then this man, Evil One, he walked in there just brushing his teeth nonchalantly, didn't say, excuse me, oh, I'm sorry, you showering? It's weird, right? I would feel uncomfortable. Like, bitch, I don't know you. Why are you in my space? And why is the door unlocked? Why white people don't lock the door? Lock the door. You go in the bathroom, lock the door, bitch. The fuck? Anyways, then she gets in bed with her man. She was just she felt so uncomfortable. She didn't even get dressed. She had on a towel. And that was a recipe for a fucking, because she started fucking her man. And then tell me why the man looks over and the evil man watching them fuck. He got a whole show. And the man didn't stop. He just fucked his wife and let him give him a show. But while they was fucking, the little girl, their daughter, was like, oh, I want to come sleep in bed with you. I want to go sleep in bed with you. And they ignored it. They just kept fucking louder. And then when they were done fucking, the mom remembered that the daughter was asking to come in the room. So she went to go get her daughter not in the bed. Tell me why the daughter's in the bed with the evil people, because the evil people heard it and they took their daughter and put her in bed with them. And guess what? The man was naked. This is so gross. Like, why would you take someone else's kid and get in bed with them naked? This is so fucked up, so nasty. So that mom was smart. She grabbed her daughter and she took them out that house. She said, we is leaving. I'm like, finally, y'all is some smart bitches. So they get out, they driving, and then this dumb little stupid kid, I don't like the kid, this is all they fault. This stupid people. So this dumb girl was like, the little girl was like, oh, I left my doll, my Nerisse. What's her name? Nickus. My Nickus. I don't know. Her doll is a rabbit. So she wanted her Nickus. So she was like, oh, we'll buy you a new one. The mom was smart. Bitch, we leaving. And the dad's like, maybe we should go. Bitch, no! Why are you going back to that shit? That was weird. And y'all too nice anyways. Y'all don't say no or I'm comfortable, leave me alone. Y'all don't do this. So they go back to go get Nickus. And let me tell you, right when that man, he said stay in the car, and I was like, good, go get that Nickus and come back out and y'all leave. He go in that house, he gone for a long time, and guess who that little bitch finds in the car? They found Nickus! That was in the bottom of the bitch. It fell on the floor. Bitch, you didn't see Nickus on the floor when you were crying. She was crying, dumb kid. Y'all don't listen to, you should say no to your kids. This whole movie, say no. So, anyway, so they go, and then the evil people talk them into staying. Long story short, this shit keeps happening. More weird shit happens. They let a lot of shit slide until shit hits the fan. Mind you, I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but there's a twist, and it plays a part. I like how horror films do metaphor certain things. Like, you know, there's a lot of yes men, yes ma'ams, like a lot of things that make people feel uncomfortable or things that they don't want to be in, and they still do it and try to be nice, but then it backfired on them. There's a quote in this movie that really hit me too, when the character was like, oh, why are you doing this? And then the villain is saying, because you let me. That sat there with me, because if you think about the whole fucking movie, that's insane. But watch the movie. This movie's really good. It's crazy. It's very unsettling. I felt some type of way afterwards. I had to put on the old Flintstones because I needed to cleanse myself. I had to see some Dabba Dabba Doo, and that was fine. I felt better after that, because that movie, ooh, I felt dirty. I felt weird, and I felt really sad. So, like I said, so be ready, be prepared for that, and watch some cartoons after, because that's what I did, and it was fine. But speak no evil. And yeah, there's a lot. I didn't spoil a lot. There's the whole tongue thing I didn't talk about. Those kids, watch it, and let me know in the comments. Let me know if y'all seen it, what y'all thought, if y'all were unsettled by it, or if you guys, again, if you have recommendations, let me know so I can watch those this year. I'm gonna get into this. So check it out. All right, guys. So the biggest movie I watched this past week that I was super excited to watch is Megan, Model 3 Generative Android. Did I say that right? I think I did. But that's what Megan stands for. And this bitch is iconic. She sings, she dances, she got sarcasm, she witty, she's shady, and she's everything I want, ever, in anything. Amazing. Best movie of the year already. I know that's big words, but that movie made a lot of money. It blew everything out the water. It is a January release. Megan did her thing. Let me tell you, I loved everything about this fucking movie. It was so fun. So I saw a lot of y'all little reviews, and girl, I don't understand. So y'all give like 2s and 1s and 3s. Why? So you went to this theater, were you not entertained? Did you not laugh? Did you not think that this bitch was crazy? You had to have some type of entertainment in this movie, because I don't understand. My theater was very engaged. I don't know. This movie was entertaining. And I loved it. I even saw some people said that they liked it so much, it still gave it like 2 and 3 stars. I was so confused. I don't know how people review stuff, but I guess everyone has their own opinions. But this is a 5-star movie in my opinion. My opinion. So don't read me. I love this movie. I'm gonna get Megan on y'all if y'all do. But anyway, so Megan, I want one. So basically this movie is about this little girl named Katie. She was on this snowstorm shit with her family, and they was arguing or some shit. They were in the snow, and all the snow was coming, and they were like, oh, we gotta wait for the snow truck so they can clear this out. They waited all right, and that shit knocked them off the road, and they died. So Katie lived, and then she's gonna go live with her auntie, and her auntie don't want no damn kids. Her auntie was just like, I'm working my work. I'm trying to make this Generation 3 model thing, and yeah, so she's invested in her work, and she wants to fucking create this thing. So she created this Megan thing, long story short, and basically this is basically taking over for parents, because this doll, it partners with its host, or its owner. So it partnered with Miss Katie, so all her feelings and thoughts and stuff she'll share with her, and she'll store them, and she'll help her. She'll tell her to flush the toilet, use a coaster. So she's like basically being a family member, and that way Miss the auntie ain't gotta do shit. So she just let her do all the work, and she's just there to, like, you know, take care of her. But mind you, this played off of this little girl's trauma. This little girl lost 2 parents. How you not one, but 2, she lost them both in a fucking snowstorm of all things. And she almost died herself. So she got this doll that's showing her so much attention, so of course she's gonna be attached, duh. So I know a lot of people I did see talk about, oh, it wasn't rated R, so I didn't go see it, or oh, it would've been better. Bitch, why? There's rated R movies that came out that y'all don't even go see. So I don't understand. So when original shit come out, people don't go watch it. I don't know, I'm just tired of seeing that. It's like, okay girl, you want more sequels? You want that? You'll complain about everything. I just wanna say that. You'll complain about every little fucking thing that comes out. Something new come out, you complain about it. A sequel come out, you complain about it. Halloween Ends come out, you complain about it. Everything comes out, you complain about it. I'm scared for Scream Sis. What are you gonna say on that one? Oh, no Nev Campbell, but bitch, I get it. They didn't pay her money. You still gonna go to the theater to watch it. Why are you complaining? Well, if you like it, you like it. You don't, just to tarnish someone. And you get in the comments too, oh, you liked it. Shut the fuck up. All right, we'll go back to the movie. So, Megan, I love this movie, and there is some solid kills. Yeah, it was PG-13, but these kills are pretty crazy. Like, there was this little fucking stupid ass little kid, which it got me clapping. Like, that little kid was a fucking bully. He's a jerk, and I wanted him to die. So he was fucking with Miss Katie, like, oh, that's your doll, and making fun of her and all this stuff. And here come Miss Megan. She came to save the day, crawling up in the, it was in the trailer, y'all seen it. And he was like hitting her and throwing her because she didn't want to talk to that jerk. So he pulled her ear off. That shit hurt. And his ass was running for his life and rolled down a hill, and he got pet cemeteried. I was so happy. I couldn't believe it. You know, a little kid walked on the road and that truck smashed him. He got his, and I was happy. I don't give a fuck. Fight me. That was awful. Like, that little fucker, he deserved it. The whole thing, the theater clapped at that point after I clapped. Like, bitch, you should have died. Anyway, so that was that. And Megan's everything. When she tried to help Katie, she breaks into song singing Miss Sia's Titanium. That gave me everything I needed. I could not stop laughing. I love Megan. I need more Megan. I need more Megan everywhere. That dance was great. It was iconic. I tried to practice it for the episode, but I said, I can't embarrass myself like this. But I tried. I mean, you all see that. But anyways, I tried. So I think what this movie is, so there's another thing I did see on the internet. People were comparing this to Child's Play 2019, and I could see it's very comparable, because that's an AI doll that connected with Andy and all this stuff, and he started killing stuff. And I will say, that movie, I think, was rated R, and that movie had more intense kills and all that, but y'all trashed that. Let's talk about it. Y'all didn't like that movie. They had laughs. You know, this is for Tupac. That was funny. Y'all didn't like that. Y'all trashed Chucky. And let me tell you, I trashed that movie too until I saw it. When I saw it, I had fun with that movie. I don't give a fuck. That movie was interesting. I was into it. That little doll was ugly as fuck. But all he wanted was best for Andy. That was it. He was a doll. He didn't know no damn better. So Megan's very similar, but y'all, I don't get it. Y'all like, oh, it's PG-13. Y'all didn't like the rated R version, so I'm confused. So anyway, so that's that. And I do think Blumhouse, Universal, they kind of possibly made this movie as a FU to MGM. Because you know the first Child's Play movie, the original, is on MGM. Universal does not own the rights to that movie. So Universal, that's why they remade the Buddy film with the Child's Play remake. And that's why they probably made this one. Because they're like, oh, well, fuck you, MGM. We're going to remake this. We're going to have our own fucking doll since y'all don't want to give us these rights. You know what I mean? Universal, y'all funny. And they got their coin, too. Blumhouse, Universal, James Wan. Y'all did y'all thing. And the writer, she did amazing. So shout out to her. And, yeah, I want to see more Megan. So apparently the Blu-ray is dropping March 21st. And also that it's going to have an uncut edition and a rated R edition. So that's for all y'all whiners out there. So hopefully y'all might like it better that way. Y'all didn't like Child's Play, but maybe y'all like this one. But Megan's getting a rated R cut on the Blu-ray, so that's super exciting. But it almost, like, I don't know. Are they doing that because everyone complained? But it made a lot of money. It blew everything out the water, y'all. So I want to see it again. So if y'all seen it, if y'all liked it, disliked it, let me know. And let me know why. Like, y'all can't just say, oh, I didn't like it. Why didn't you like it? Weren't you entertained? I don't know. So, Megan, I loved it. I want to see it again. I want a Megan shirt, Megan for president. And the sequel's in the works, too. So stay tuned for that. And, yeah, can't wait. All right, guys, so that's it for this week's Blu-ray Tuesday with Terrell. And I'm going to see y'all next week, and hopefully I'll have some Blu-rays. If Best Buy, Amazon get y'all shit together and deliver y'all shit, maybe I'll have something. But happy Friday the 13th. Y'all watch some Friday the 13th movies? I want to know, real quick, in the comments, let me know what your favorite Friday the 13th movie is. So I'm going to do my top 3. My first favorite is the final chapter, part 4. Amazing. Tommy Doyle did his thing. He shaved off his hair and fucked some shit up. My second favorite is part 7, which is basically Carrie versus Jason, and that one's called A New Blood. And my third favorite is Imposter Jason, hence I got my little nickname for the Overlook Theater, is A New Beginning. Well, you know, it wasn't really Jason as the killer. They're trying to try a new thing, and then people got mad, and that's why part 6 came. But anyways, that's my favorites, and let me know what y'all favorites are in the comments below or on Instagram, wherever y'all watch and stuff. And I want to say thank you again, everybody, for watching, liking, sharing. And if you guys do share the video and stuff, tag me, because I want to see them. Because a lot of them, I don't see my tags, so I don't get to share them. I like to reshare them. I like to say thank you, because this is awesome. I really appreciate all of those, so tag me. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys next week. Listen to the Overlook Hour. Happy Friday the 13th. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.